Hi everyone, Tasha here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to create a card using items from the Hedgehog Hollows October subscription box. The October theme was all about healthcare workers and it had some really fun products to make these cute cards for special healthcare workers in your life. So I decided to make these square cards. I have my paper all pre-cut with the measurements in the description box below. This card uses several pieces of cardstock, pattern paper that's included in the kit, a piece of vellum, and then I used also a white piece of card that's for a layer, and I'm using the cool background stamp. In addition, I'm going to be using a yellow piece of cardstock for the card base. I love this pop of yellow. For a little bit of detail, I'm using Crown Jewels from Maker Forte. And then for the sentiment, I'm using this toner sheet that was included in the kit. It has the black on white and then the white on black. And then for a little more detail, I'm using a piece of ribbon. So for my embossing though, I did make my own kind of embossed color to give it a really cool metallic look by mixing some Kaleidoscope powder from Maker Forte and some clear embossing powder. To start, I'm going to go over to my MISTI. I took out my foam layer in the MISTI because this background stamp is one of the rubber stamps, so it's really thick. So just take out your foam. I put a piece of scrap paper behind my little card because I'm going to be using the clear stamp ink on it, so I didn't want to get it all over my MISTI tool. I'm using Color Hive Clear, and I had to stamp this several times just to make sure I had enough coverage. This stamp is really large, which is awesome, but you want to make sure you cover it all. So it did take me a couple tries, but it's no problem. Just with your MISTI tool, you can go over it multiple times and make sure that you cover everything. I also used my Smoosher tool, which is my favorite tool, and that also helped. So now it's time to mix my embossing powder. This Kaleidoscope powder from Maker Forte is awesome. This color that I'm using is called Mercury. They have several colors. They have ones that kind of color shift. They have some bold colors, but I love this kind of like a champagne tone. And I mixed it with clear embossing powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle that all over that stamped design. It's so cool because this gives you a really neat metallic look on your embossed design. And since you mixed it with that clear embossing powder, it heat sets it. So you can kind of customize your own embossing powders just by mixing the different Kaleidoscope powders mixed in with clear. So I hit it with my heat gun, and already you start to see the cool shimmery color shine through. It's beautiful, and when the light hits it, it has a champagne tone to it, which I really like. So once I was done with that, I did move on to cutting it down to size. I made this card a little bit bigger just to make the stamping easier for me, and then I could cut the area down to size afterwards. This way, if I did make a mistake or didn't get a good impression somewhere, I could trim it away. So these are my layers, and it's time to assemble. I'm just going to use some glue runner, and the paper included in the set is double-sided, so you have a choice of the print that you want to use. And I'm just going to attach the printed paper to a square piece of white cardstock. And then I'm going to layer the vellum. Since the vellum is just a layer, I was able to just put glue in the center where the top card is going to cover it up. So you don't have to worry about the glue showing through. Next, for my ribbon, I just cut it down to size, put some tape runner along the back of it to make sure it would attach to that card, and then I put tape runner on both ends and the back of the paper, so I can just kind of reposition it to make it straight, but it would be secure. And since I put the ribbon onto the back, when I attach it to my card, it also secures it, so you don't have to worry about your ribbon fraying or coming undone because it is already attached to those layers. After I was done with that, I'm going to cut down my sentiment. It's really cool that it includes a whole bunch of different sentiments on that toner sheet. There was also a stamp set, so you could stamp your sentiment if you choose to, but this is just so easy. It already has everything done for you, and you can foil on it because it is a toner sheet, or you could use the black with the white lettering, or like I did with the black lettering on white. I just glued it to a piece of scrap glitter paper. I'm using gold for this card. And I went to my trimmer and I'm just trimming it down to size. I just found it easier to trim it after I attach the sentiment rather than trying to cut a tiny little layer and line them up. So I just used that same glue to attach the sentiment to the ribbon. And now I'm making a simple card base. This is really easy to do. Just take a standard sheet of cardstock, any color that you choose, fold it in half, and then cut it down to size. It's kind of what I always do with card bases. I don't really stress over card bases or worry about scoring. I just kind of fold it in half, cut it down to the size I need, and then attach my card. And once I was done, it's as quick as that. These are super easy to make, but these are so nice. So you could give it to someone maybe taking care of another person, or a healthcare worker, or someone maybe in a nursing home worker. And then just for a little more detail, I did add some crown jewels, and I used my little Maker Forte picker tool. One end has the little rubbery part that you can easily pick up embellishments with, and then the other end has a poking needle, so you can have both tools in one slim pen. And this finishes up my card. I made the cards different so I would have two different styles, but it uses the same technique and same items. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you check out the Hedgehog Hollow subscription kits. All the information is below. Bye-bye!